Hi class, I'm Tanya.
I'm Dan, and we're talking about the Broad Leaved Deciduous Forest today. It's exciting stuff.
To find a temperate broadleaf deciduous forest, we have to look no further than our own Michigan backyard. This biome is one that's characterized by broadleaf deciduous trees, like maples and oaks, that in the mid-latitudes have leaves that change color and fall off in the autumn, and in the lower latitudes have broadleaf evergreen and drought deciduous variety. This biome enjoys rather moderate average temperatures from -20 to 100 degrees, with plentiful rainfall from 29 to 59 inches a year. This biome covers majority of the central and eastern parts of the United States, most of Europe, parts of Russia, parts of China, the Korean Peninsula and Japan, and in the southern hemisphere it can be found on the western coastline of Australia and the southern half of Chile.
This biological community has adapted to the moderate temperatures and damp climate. The trees in the deciduous forest have broad leaves designed to capture lots of sunlight through photosynthesis, while providing lots of shade to the ground underneath, helping to retain moisture. There are 5 distinct levels within the deciduous forest, each with a diverse community of plants and species, from the canopy at the top to the understory, which contains saplings or young trees, then the shrub and the bush layer, the herb layer with herbs, flowers, and short plants and berries, finally ending on the forest floor or carpet, a dark and chilly layer covered and protected by leaf litter and shade from the canopy. Trees have adapted to the change in sunlight throughout the seasons, which results in the photosynthesis process stopping and the leaves changing color and falling off as their chlorophyll breaks down.
The animal community is also very diverse, with animals that have adapted to the seasonal changes that occur within the deciduous forest. They range from deers and insects that eat the trees and vegetation, to skunks and bears that eat both plants and animals, to weasels and all the way to mountain lions that eat other animals. There are also a large number of bird species like these Canadian geese that migrate south in the winter and return in the spring. Some mammals like squirrels and bears have adapted to hibernate in the winter months. All these animals have developed to be productive. Even worms and slugs help out by decomposing the leaf waste from trees, plants, and dead animals, which produce nutrients in the soil. Everything in the biome is held within a delicate balance by a diverse community.
Disturbances are defined as something causing a change or transformation in an ecosystem's steady state. A disturbance is an event that removes one organism, making space and resource free to be used by a new individual. Some of these disturbances are biological and some physical. Biological disturbances can be invasive species like bugs or borers being introduced into a deciduous forest. Physical disturbances could be fire, an avalanche, or clear cutting. Humans can cause primary and secondary disturbances in both physical and biological categories. Causes that are human related, a change in frequency of natural caused events like fires, avalanches, and clear cutting. There are also microorganism, fungi, and insect transportation areas that are not native, or perhaps a conversion of forest lands to other use like recreation or infrastructure.
The biome may or may not recover from various disturbances. For example, if lands are clear-cut for infrastructure like a city or highway, the biome may not be able to recover. If land is clear-cut for use for firewood and allowed to have new growth, the area can recover in time but will have changes. And sometimes invasive species like the ash borer can have a devastating effect on the trees in the area. The Silver Lake sand dunes is a good example of a forest that was cut for lumber to rebuild after the Great Chicago Fire, and the area was unable to recover, leaving the dunes in place of a great forest. This is a situation where humans disturbed the biome, but nature prevented it from regrowing. However, some forests have been replanted by humans and have made good progress.
The temperate broadleaf deciduous forest presents a wonderful biome to live in. Temperatures are not too hot or too cold. The annual precipitation is enough to sustain the trees and farming of vegetation. The mid-latitudes offer brilliant displays of reds and oranges and yellows in the autumn, and a wonderful snowfall in the winter for fun activities like skiing, sledding, and snowmobiling. The biological community is well adapted to seasonal changes. Humans still present the biggest threat and asset to the biome. Deforestation results in loss of habitat if not properly replenished afterwards, with some activities, like property development and farming, resulting in total loss of previous deforested areas. Invasive species can have a devastating effect on animals and native plant life. Things like the ash borer, which have proved deadly to native ash trees, are also affecting the community we live in. Proper conservation efforts, avoiding bringing in non-native plants and animals, and replanting trees lost to the lumber industry can help us preserve the broadleaf deciduous forest for generations to come.